Hammer time! What's going on, people? It's Friday, it's hot. Get the beers out, put your feet up, just be generally great people, right? Don't come into the chat flashing pictures of yourself. It's just rude, no one else doing that, you know what I mean? Everyone's just kicking back, posting pictures of dinosaurs and llamas, and Andy looking all suspicious and stuff, because there's weird shit about, you know, Ray Charles. All those kind of things are what keep us going around here. That's what I'm talking about. How are we all doing? We had a tremendous week. I hope you're all looking forward to a great weekend. We've got the MDI coming up. We got all this kind of good stuff. Next week, we will be hosting SGDQ on the stream. There won't be a stream from us. And that's because of two things. One, SGDQ is awesome. Summer games done quick. Should be good quality banter. And me and Andy have got a load of YouTube stuff to do because you know what's coming up in just a couple of weeks. It's PreachCon 2018. It's literally a couple of weeks away. And that means we have a lot of work to do. Good God Almighty. We have a lot of work to do to make sure that we have the best time we can have this year. From not even happening, we weren't even going to have a PreachCon this year, to it being literally a couple of weeks away. Oh, man! And you guys have been getting your t-shirts done, you're tweeting me all the modifications you've made to it, all these custom designs, like it's transmog time. You're looking at it, it's like, yeah, but if it just had a little bit of this to it. We just made it this little bit better, and I say to you, you fucking bastards. Because Andy spent a long time making them shirts, and you just think you can waz your name on it and make it better. Ignorant is what it is. Ignorant. You guys need to respect the design choices that our boy Andy has made there, right? Just a little bit of glitter. No glitter, Andy.
No pop.
No pop, no crackle, no spices.
No.
It's got no spices. Ignorant is what it is. I'm always mad. I'm an angry YouTuber. Don't you guys know about it? You guys should pay attention to the news. Angry YouTuber. Live. That's what I'm all about. Right, I've got some funny stories for you today, which you're probably happy about. Right? You'll be there in spirit? No, you won't, Kim. Not with an attitude like that. But watch your mouth. Right? Yeah. I've got... we're about to get greasy. You want to get greasy with me? Recently, we've been talking about a lot of stuff with the upcoming expansion. And some people have sent us some lessons to be learned. Some lessons to be learned regarding such a situation. No anime. I'm done with anime for a while. We've had too much. I'm done with anime for a while. I really am. It's been too much. How many of you are students that have had to live with other people, other human beings? How many of you... Oh, there's not enough room. We'll just call it the uni flatmate. That makes sense. Yeah. How many of you have had to live? The salute is there. It's kind of like the funnest and worst experiences all put together at once. It's like a big soup of amazing times and awful times all thrown together for your pleasure. Yeah. So this might sound very familiar to some of you. What's the worst thing about other people? Especially if you're living with them in a uni situation. It's cutlery, right? Fucking burns my soul. It really does. It's cutlery. It really is. It really is. It's just cutlery. Don't use my fucking fork, you prick. I've seen what you do. Hygiene. I have told the story. The first time I visited Emma's all-girl dorm, as a guy... in my uni years, visiting the all-girl dorm, I expected it to be like Porky's. Any of you guys ever see Porky's? Like American Pie, you know? Like Police Academy. I expected just disgustingly filthy yet beautiful underwear strewn across the battlefield.
Sopping wet breasts.
Literal just fine young uni arse. Wall-to-wall shaved poon, right? Wall-to-wall. Really just the best decoration you can ask for. Not like that at all. Fucking gross. Girls when you get together. Fucking gross. Disgusting. And there was a big girl there. That's not the point of the story, but she's a big girl. And our big girl comes from an area in the UK, and you can look up the accent so you get a real feel for it, called Yorkshire. Oh, she's breathtaking. She stank, man. You had to Couldn't breathe it in. And our girl likes to sit on the windowsill in a nightie, which is just a long t-shirt. She doesn't wear underwear, and she just sits and talks to you. And you can see her entire beef burger, lettuce, tomatoes, bacon, the whole thing. Really can. The mayonnaise. It really is a sight to behold, because you're not sure if it's a joke or whether you're supposed to leave or what's going on. Well, the whole Wicked Zinger Tower meal is just right there, you know? It's right there for you. And you don't feel hungry. Not once did I feel hungry. And apparently she did that all the time. There you go. And now I'm hungry. You dirty bastards. You dirty bastards. Anyway, let's jump into a nice university tale, because most of you guys are studying. And I hope your exams are nearly over, by the way. Lots of people coming into the stream saying their exams are finished. Good luck to those of you who are going through the exam period. I hope you're doing all right. All right, here we go. The uni flatmate. Are we ready? Are we ready? We're going back in time. All right, we need some names for this. He has listed his names for us. What a hero. We need a girlfriend. There we go. We need the flatmate from hell. The flatmate from hell shall be... let's have... Oh, he came back and... Yeah, he came back today as well. Perfect. Rindar. There he was. We need his girlfriend. Who are we having? Who are we having? I've not got no other girls here. Who's got a girlyish name? Ookum Spookum. Ookum Spookum. Lovely. And 2 minor mentions. All right, 2 minor mentions. Is it though, Kim? Is it? Is it? Let's have Miranda and Lady Bulba. Lady Bulba. Oh, you don't want this one, Kara. You don't want it. Oh, let's have Love Puddles. Perfect. Perfect.
No.
Yes. Thank you very much, Glyn, for opening that door for me. All right, then. Preacher! After watching you back in Miss of Pandaria, I thought you were an elitist prick. I thought you were shit, and I can't be asked to watch this guy talk about classes for so long.
Coming in strong. Hot fire.
Instead, I thought it was better to read Noxic. How did that go? Instead, when I got into WoW, since I started at the end of Kata and had no clue what to do, and and said hunters were shit, when really I had gear from leveling, doing the Headless Horseman for the mount, which is how I spent most of my days. To be fair, I was young and dumb. So naive, so naive. After recently discovering Drama Time, though, and coming back to the fold, we welcome you with open arms. Sometimes. I submit my story of my flatmate, who was corrupted, mainly by girls and by World of Warcraft. I was playing WoW during Legion, not really doing much, but killing time before university started. And on the side, rocking me some Dota 2, mate, yeah? Try hard game. Brackets, lol is for plebs. The day came where I had to move into accommodation for my university. So with my bags packed, hopes high, I set off on my solo IRL adventure. First day there, got my PC set up. Unpacked, did a little bit of decorating. It was pretty late, so I went to bed. And I was so far the only one on the floor. The move in was to take place over the whole weekend. The next day, I awake. Banging. 8 a.m. That's late, dude, you fucking student. 8 a.m.? Really? Oh, it's 8 a.m. Oh, fucking just got to bed. I got up, slapped on some clothes, and stuck my head out at the 2 newbies moving in. Rindar and Miranda. Miranda was 21, while most of us were 18 or 19. Both gamers with PC, none of this console bullshit on our floor. We got chatting and the university moving in party was that night. So me and some friends were going out, getting our beer on, and invited them along. Now, Miranda said he could dance. He was a little odd, but let's be honest, most gamers are antisocial. And from what we could tell, his mother liked to baby him, and he had to call every hour after 9 p.m. to let her know he was okay. 21, by the way. I didn't expect much, but Miranda was known as the dancing man through the entire university after the first night. Everyone cheered who we were with, and in turn more and more people joined in. After a while of him disappearing to dance and coming back for a drink, the night ended. Rindar went home early as he was a bit of an introvert. Fair enough, not everyone's thing. He just preferred to go home and get stoned. That was his plan for a night out. So the weeks went on and on. A new fellow arrived by the name of Love Puddles. Me and Love Puddles were studying games programming, so happened to be having lessons together. Love Puddles started off nicely. Nice guy, went to class. But Love Puddles started to get weirder. One time in class, he decided it was time to tell me that he would rather watch YouTube than think about girls and sex or even masturbate. Completely out of nowhere. Is that right, Love Puddles? Thanks for sharing. You know, we really needed to know. We did. We really needed to know. Thank you very much. Good knowledge. Educational. You're a good man. I just shrugged it off. He's an alright person, so I just rolled with it as maybe he wants to talk about it. Until the first incident. Love Puddles scared off someone I was talking to at the time, me being single, in a lesson by leaving his lesson at university to come into mine and show me a video he'd found of someone being decapitated. She never spoke to me again for the entirety of the module. That's some good cock blocking there, Love Puddles. I mean, really nailing it. Really 10 out of 10. Really top shelf. No, it's fine. I'm sure he's going to pull it back. I'm sure Love Puddles has got this. Okay. Everyone soon learned to not spend any time with Love Puddles and to not revise with him. His favourite form of comedy was memes, and that was all they would get for hours while trying to study. So we all just went about our business. One day near the end of the first 2 semesters, Love Puddles mentioned he was thinking of getting World of Warcraft. I was excited. I had quit just as I got to uni because I was too busy with people IRL to play. And when I did play games, it was a few different ones, but mainly Dota 2, and my friends had stopped playing. I said, Puddles, if you get it, I'll start playing again. At this time, I was dating my current girlfriend, Ookum Spookum, who was just getting used to being in a larger social circle. She quickly warmed to my friends like Rindar and Miranda, but not Love Puddles. He was just too weird. And while she was staying over, he would wait till I got in the shower. He would come into my room, which had the door on a doorstop, so it was open. He would sit with her and start talking about her, asking her what she was doing and questions like that. When I got out, I would ask him to leave politely, and he did, so we didn't think much of it. But then, Love Puddles started his first ever relationship. After months of pining over a girl from his hometown, whinging about how he loved her, he now finally stopped that when he met Kimber. At first, we thought Kimber was made up, because we'd never seen her, never saw her Facebook or anything for 2 months. At about this time, we started viewing a house for next year. Now we had found our little group of friends. We found a place that happened to be near Kimber. After we laughed and actually got the place, as it was quite nice for the next year with me, Miranda, and Rindar, and of course, Love Puddles. It was February. Kimber and Love Puddles had been dating for about 2 months at this point, when she started to show up around our house. And this is where the problem started. Now, chat. And this is our author speaking. Chat. We all know how whipped we can be when we first discover poon. Right? Most guys have been there. We do anything that woman says until the poon spell snaps. Or they turn into a massive bellend. And let me tell you, Kimber was a massive bellend. Unfortunate. So for the most part, they stayed at her house, but occasionally they would stay here. I would hear stories from Love Puddles that absolutely no one wanted to hear. One example was while we were watching TV, he decided he would tell me that he had broken the bed and that all of Kimber's flatmates had to turn their music full blast. Having now heard them firsthand one night, as well as the rest of my Discord and my girlfriend, I can only describe the sounds those two made as a tortoise mating with a rabid dog, and the sound of a pound of ground beef being slapped against the wall. Miranda had told them to shut the fuck up many times. But this time he texted me telling me it was my turn to tell them, as it was 4 o'clock in the morning and they were drunk and trying to do it in the kitchen. I went out, I told them to be quiet, and shortly after they left the house. Now, I don't want to be harsh, but Miranda and I did discuss how it was possible for Kimber and Love Puddles to actually get in a single bed. They were both quite large. Quite large. This is an important note as it comes in handy to the problems we face later. So this went on and on. They woke my girlfriend up one night, as I'm quite a heavy sleeper, so I didn't really notice how noisy they were being, and I had to play White Knight. I told Ookum Spookum just to lie down, and I'll go and deal with it. I went out, kicked the door, yelling at them to be quiet, and again, they left the house. The creepy thing was that Kimber and Love Puddles were together for a few months, and they still spent all day and all night together. But here comes World of Warcraft. Oh yeah, here comes World of Warcraft. Kimber and Love Puddles started playing together on a low population server on the Alliance. Still thinking there was some good left in Love Puddles and holding up my end of the bargain, I of course bought WoW again. I refused to play with them though. Why on earth would I play on a low population Alliance server? For the Horde! But following this, they were now spending way more time at our house with World of Warcraft. I later found out it is because they'd received so many noise complaints from neighbours and that Kimber didn't feel welcome at her house anymore because her flatmate said she causes all of the noise, which was probably true from what I'd heard. At some point, Kimber had told the neighbours to go and fuck themselves over the garden wall, which had resulted in an incident where the neighbour had actually come round to the house and started banging on the door to get in and talk to them. This alone made me not want Kimber anywhere near the house next year, or let's be honest, see her ever again. As well as this, the room started to smell. We started to smell it in the corridor at first, and then the kitchen started to smell. Since she had moved in, the kitchen had now become a full-time mess. The plan for WoW was to wait until... and this is what we talked about recently, which prompted this story. They had a plan for World of Warcraft. They were going to wait until the next expansion comes out, Battle for Azeroth. Not buy Battle for Azeroth, but then to buy the battle chest, because that now would contain Legion, and then they could farm transmog. I mean... There's a lot of WTF moments in this tale. That's a big one for me. So put it in context, a lot of people got in contact with me. Not a lot, actually. Like 2 emails. Just saying that's how they play the game. They get the latest expansion and they level up. But they don't do the current expansion. Right? This is what they told me. They don't do the current expansion. They wait. So these guys who email me haven't really played Legion yet. What they do is they cap in the latest expansion and then they go back and do all the previous expansions content and farm that. That's what they do. That's how they play WoW. Which is fine. Like, it doesn't bother me at all. You do what you want to do. But that's what they do. Okay. At least they seemingly had stopped having as much sex, but now they played World of Warcraft constantly until the early hours of the morning, making noise. At one point, Love Puddles decided to throw himself into a wall and then headbutt it in a rage after an argument with Kimber, which resulted in his head bleeding on the wall. You okay, Deglin? You alright? Good. Just checking. The conclusion of this story is when I was done with Love Puddles. Ookum Spookum, my girlfriend, did not drink. She was adopted because her mother was an alcoholic, so none of my friends drank around her to make her feel more comfortable. To which Love Puddles decided to text us and say, why don't you both just come down for a drink and stop being gay? Nailed it! 10 out of 10! Yeah, look, I get it. Got a problem with beer or whatever, right? But why don't you stop being gay and come and have a beer? La solution, yeah? Viva la solution. Top shelf stuff. Knowing full well why she didn't drink. After getting her back into the room before she tried to murder him, things settled down a bit. I never really spoke to him until it was time for us to leave the flat. Everyone else had moved out at the end of the semester and we had 4 weeks before we followed. So Love Puddles and Kimber would start stealing things from the kitchen. They stole my knives, my spoons, and some of my plates. Some of them they would just use and not ask and then not wash them up either or put them back. In university, this is a big fucking deal. You used my shit, you made it dirty, and you didn't wash it up. How could you, Kim? How fucking could you? His spoons? Really? You couldn't get your own spoon? Really? I confronted them. I had never... This is where it gets so university, it's hilarious. I know I had never used the big spoons. I had never needed to use a big spoon. So this is when I really found out what Kim was like. Kim said, it was just on the side. I thought it was one of our big spoons. Ha ha. Which it couldn't have been because I've never used the big spoons, so they must have been in the drawer with everything else. I was also very particular about not being lazy around flatmates. I liked doing the washing up, so it went on, and then Fat Kim broke the toilet seat. Well done, Kim. You broke the toilet seat. It was just me, Kim, and Love Puddles in the flat. But they just left it. I had to report it to maintenance to fix, which they did, thankfully, without charging us. So then after a lovely week with Ookum Spookum, I came home to find that Kim had broke the toilet seat again. And the kitchen was completely trashed. Now, there is a link here to Facebook chat, but... Right, let me just make sure there's no names here. Hold on. Okay, I'll have to read this to you. Right. I have to read this to you, otherwise I'm going to expose the names of these people. And I don't want to do that, because that's not fair. Hold on. I can kind of schemaz it a bit. Can I should have put more thought into this. Okay.
Just send me the picture and I'll quickly Shot the names out.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I can do this. Should be fine. All right. So you can see that there was a picture. That's the wrong button. I've just fucked it up completely. Professional strummer. Got it. There we go. Okay. There's a picture here. I can't make this window any smaller. There's a picture here of the toilet seats broken, and instead of doing anything with it, they've just put the toilet seat on top of the toilet. Right? You can see the toilet seat's the wrong way. Right? You can see that? It's the wrong way. Okay. So our man, I'm going to translate the messages now. I fucked it up again. There we go. There you go. Okay. So you can see the side toilet seat. There you go. You got it? You can see that it's on upside down and sideways. You can just kind of see it here without me exposing too much here. Right? Okay. So let me read through these messages that our boys got here. Okay. So... yeah, it's under Spotify. I was hiding the names, right? Yeah, just about. I was hiding the names. I can't make that window any smaller. That's what I was saying. Easy. That's the situation. Okay, so you did see. I had the mouse on it. It was under the mouse. God, you guys. You guys are the worst. You know, I used to be able to trust you guys. You know, back in the... okay, here we go. Check this shit. Look at this. Super points. There you go. Right? There you go. Easy. There it is. Okay? That's how they left it. Kim, this is what you did to the toilet. This was your solution to fix the toilet. Right? This is the solution to fix it. Good job, Kim. 10 out of 10. Right? No one's even going to notice. No one's even going to notice. Easy game. Yeah, well played. Well played. All right. So our man has texted Love Puddles the picture of the toilet. To which Love Puddles goes, yeah, I know. Saw that earlier. Our guy says, the fuck is that? Dunno. I saw the broken toilet seat, but I didn't question it. So exactly. So our author goes, there's literally only 3 of us here. And you're saying you don't know who broke it. Fat ass Kim. Right? There's only 3 of us who live here and you don't know who broke it. I've been away while it happened. Love Puddles goes, I know. Kim said she heard people. So it might have been the staff. Our author is now completely befuddled by this play. It was a play that no one expected to happen. So he replies, I just have nothing to say, that it might have been the staff. He does have these thoughts though. Oh yes, the staff, the fucking cleaning staff, decided to rip the toilet seat off and just leave it there. It was obvious that Kim and Love Puddles, as they were the only other ones in the flat at the time, they broke it. One of their lard asses broke the toilet seat. I reported it and named them because I was sick of this shit. Just say you broke a toilet seat and we can move on. It's not a big deal. Don't bullshit your way out of it because you can't be asked. It was at this point then, outside with Love Puddles, I asked, so is Kim going into halls next year then for her masters? The reply I got was not the one I hoped for. Nah, Kim's just going to stay with us next year. As you're probably thinking, there's some problems. They've nearly broken up several times, and if they do what she's going to do, live on our couch, rent-free, which seems to be the plan, not me, Miranda, or Renda like her very much. He didn't ask us about this decision, so I said, all right, I'll talk to everyone else about that. Obviously, the answer was no. No one wanted to be a dick or rude, though, so we decided to read for a clause in our contract. Because, yes, preach, we are massive pussies. And there it was, clause 13.2 for our housing next year. You are not allowed permanent residence, or it was an instant eviction. Boom, score, boys. Can I get a hell yeah in the chat? No, you little bitch. Why did you look for a clause, motherfucker? So the next day I said to the others, since I was here, I would speak to Love Puddles about it. He was physically upset. He tried to hide it, and I was polite and said, guess we're allowed for a brief time. Little did I know the shitstorm I'd just unleashed. Why did you add that to the conversation? She could stay for a little bit. No! 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 Because then they'll try and get away with it. That's what all people do who are like this. You gave an inch, you better be prepared to move out. Right? That's all that's going to happen. But I wasn't expecting the wrath of Kim. Stronger than that of an old god let loose. I heard screaming, crying, shouting. Love Puddles came into the kitchen, looking like a ghost. Let me do a proper Glyn impression. Is this right, Andy? Is there no way to get around it? Like, if we move her out if they're coming for an inspection? Nailed it?
No, you need to start your sentence with, all right there, fella.
Fair enough.
Can we not kick it out?
He loves her. He's not doing anything in that. So we're now going to hide Fat Kim. If they come for an inspection, we're going to put Fat Kim in the bath. And then we'll cover it up with a sheet. Nailed it, right? We're good. I said, no, I don't want to do that. And we're not getting evicted because of this. And you didn't ask us before. And we're just going to have to, like, move her in now. It's just not happening. Sorry, Love Puddles. He stormed off. And the yelling and the crying continued. I just went and played some WoW with some music on. One phrase I did catch, though, was, it's my house, from Kim. At this moment, it was technically correct. However, next year, it would be our house. I avoided them for the next few days. Eventually, after trying to get a place in halls and failing as all the spaces had gone months ago, they tried again to agree to a sneaking plan where we were now going to hide her under the staircase should anyone come. I was tired and sick of this shit as we agreed as a house, no. And none of us actually want her there. Especially after the tantrum she had thrown. She did get a place around the corner, and Love Puddles said we could do a few days at hers and a few at ours, which was reasonable, but at this point I was done. It wasn't happening. After more drama that involved Kim messaging plans and screaming at me and to let her stay, that it's the end of the story, but she finally fucked off. Sadly, no one likes Love Puddles or Kim anymore. We're done with their mess, their shit, and their weird-ass sex noises. He went from weird, but alright. And I tell you, most of the time, he was alright. To just drama after drama. It also didn't help we had to help him cook food because he had never been taught how to cook by his parents. To this day, I regret asking him to come out that night. If he didn't, I might not have got a house with him for the next year. For now, Preacher, it's the end of this little saga. However, there will surely be more to come next year when I have 10 months of living with him. I can guarantee if he moves his girlfriend in there will be drama. Just to add, I've included 2 images with no names displayed for your stream. The first is our toilet seat that's broken. The second is a picture, is that of a picture of Jess while sending photos of the house for Rendar, who had not seen the house at all. She just has habits of breaking toilet seats. The last line is the heifer. Oh, this is great. This is great. Hold on. This is really good. Okay. So, as you might recall, this is the broken toilet seat that Kim had broken, right? Kimmy's buttocks had broken this one, right? So that's the other one. But then, to show off their potential new house... This is brilliant. This is well good. Look in the background. Right? Let's gloss over for a moment that Kim thinks a let's get naked mat in the bathroom is classy. Right? The fucking toilet's broken. Fucking 10 out of 10, Kim. Oh, that's quality, Bants. That's quality. I love it. The fucking toilet's broken in her house as well. Oh, this is awesome. How many empty bottles can we stack up at the bottom of here, Kim? Oh, she's got like this rampage of toilet seat breaking, which is just unstoppable. Absolutely unstoppable. What a gal. Really top 10 performance. Let's get naked. Let's not. Thank you very much for that story, my man. That was awesome. That was delicious. And now we're going to have a life lesson. It's all good. We're going to have a life lesson now, boys. It's going to be well good. Oh, yes. He returns from the first ever drama story we told on this channel some years ago. Our man, who has gone from being like a little bit of a, let's say, bad WoW player to married with a beautiful girl and still a bad WoW player. Really sad, actually. Terrible story. Oh, well. We'll see. But anyway, he has too many tales for us. Holla Preacher, I know you read my story during a web show, and I appreciate that you enjoy reading my stories and making me sound depressed. You're called No More Happy. Like, I know your real life name. I do. I've seen your wedding photos. But you're still called No More Happy. And that, my friend, deserves a reference. Doesn't it? Yeah? It does. But I want you to hear kind of one of my non-wowish stories. So here we go. I'll make this story short for you. Now, there's two stories here. One is WoW related, one's not. I moved out of my parents' house at 18 years old with a good friend who I, at the time, didn't know was a lazy-ass fuck who refused to clean things. Spotting a theme. We all go through it, don't we? This is what happens if you keep fucking cleaning up after your kids. I had my kids under the whip yesterday cleaning their bedrooms. Get it done. The place I moved into was very small. It was a few hours away from where my parents lived. It actually wasn't even really a house. The place used to be a garage. Used it to store boxes for the orchard around it. On the other side of the road was a range for the cows that our neighbours owned. And this is again why I'm no more happy. One night I'm cleaning the dishes by hand. I like the way you threw that in there as if like it's real pleb mode not to be using a dishwasher. By hand, by the way. Yeah, I had to hold the plate and I had a cloth or a brush like this. Like some fucking peasant. Yeah, like I live in the dirt in my garage. By hand I had to clean the dishes. Oh, you don't. I've been through some things, me. Oh, you wouldn't believe it. Oh, woo! And cleaning up around the house. And by the time I was done, I had a bin bag and a half worth of trash to take out. Dirty bastards. I convinced my roommate to take it out as I just cleaned up. Right? He begrudgingly began to take the bags of trash out to the bin in the front of the house. But he came back a few seconds later with both of the bags in hand. You couldn't be asked doing it? I asked him. What's the voice of this lazy person? Bruh, something you gotta see out here, mate. Mate, come and have a look, though. I looked at him confused. What could I possibly want to do to see involving taking out the trash? I stepped outside with him and had a look around for a few seconds and didn't see anything. What are you talking about? Look. Over there. I assumed that whatever he was talking about was closer to the trash bin, so I had a little walk. Mate, what are you doing? It's right there. Don't you see it? He said. Right where? I silenced myself. There was a large creature in front of me, staring straight at me, the same colour as the bins, and it was dark. It was laying on the ground in the dark. It was a big-ass fucking bull. This bull was kept separate from the cows our neighbours had for obvious reasons, but was kept close to them. Somehow he had gotten out of his pen, but didn't want to leave the cows. So the bull had decided to sleep in my garden. I very slowly walked backwards towards my house. All the time. Eyes firmly on this massive bull that's in my garden. We decided the best plan was to crawl back in the house, close the door, go out the back door, climb over the fence, and get into our neighbour's house and let them know that their bull was in our garden and preventing us from putting the trash out. Our neighbours reacted in an interesting way. They said, just leave it alone. He probably won't go anywhere. And one of their farmhands will take care of it in the morning. It's just a bull. Huh? Just leave it alone then.
You're being soft for.
I know. There's a bull in the garden. Well, don't go near it. Just leave it there. Idiot. Yeah, but it's my garden. Yeah, and? We'll sort it out in the morning. Don't worry about it. TV's on. Fucking leave it alone. I didn't have much choice in the situation. It was a big bull. So the next morning I woke up, looked out the window, and noticed the bull was gone. Way! I looked over to where its cage and noticed it had gone back. Either it decided to go back itself or one of their neighbours' farmhands put it back while we were sleeping. We were terrified all night though. Bulls aren't known as the happiest creatures on earth and could have easily smashed through our door if it wanted to. And getting as close as I did to that one nearly made me leave a brown stain in my little pants though. But it'll always be a good little story. It is a good story. Thank you for sharing. But here's the wow story for you. Why drama writers, that's you lot, should really be happy their in-game names aren't used, right? So we take great lengths, and it often catches me off guard to remember saying, I don't know, 5 or 6 names like the last story, and then translate them through this story. But we do it for a reason. Because you might be telling us a story about people who are still playing the game, a guild that still exists, and we really wouldn't be good people if we got you guys in trouble all the time, would we? The day that you posted the web show on YouTube, I was doing Mage Tower challenges for my Paladins off specs, as a couple of other guildies were on, but not enough to form up to do anything like M+ or a raid. And the team that does M+ all day long was missing some people. The Mage Tower challenges are relatively easy on Taurus gear. Makes it so you can practically ignore certain mechanics during parts of the fight. I finished the Prop Paladin challenge after 20-ish wipes. Lucky bastards, man. Fuck the Prop Paladin challenge. Fuck it. Mostly due to getting knocked off the platform. There were a couple of times I just forgot about the debuff and the guy killed me in a couple of casts. Sure, just forget about it. My guildies loved the challenges, and one of them had actually done the same as you, Preacher, and gone through and done them on every class and spec in early gear, which I applaud him for. Though when I did my prot challenge, my friend wanted me to stream it so he could watch and give me pointers, right? You one-shot it. You one-shot it. Fuckers. Bastards. So, our man wants him to stream just so he can help him out. Evening rolled around and I got back on to do the Rep Pally challenge, which is, as we all know, one of the hardest ones, isn't it? Some of my guildies were still on, so I said, do you want me to stream this one? Which they said, sure, you should do that. After a few attempts, somebody named, and we do not need to change the name of this because we used it in the drama story on the web show, called Phosphor, which is the name that you gave to the guy in the drama story, started whispering me. So, I heard you were looking for me, popped up in pink text. No? Who is it? I replied. This is Phosphor, from your old guild. Of course, Phosphor wasn't the old raid leader's name, so obviously I thought it was someone fucking with me. Usually at this point I would ignore the person, but then whispers started coming into me from old members of the guild as well. I heard you had been talking shit about my man Phosphor. Someone must have been trolling me. Perhaps it was one of your audience, Mike. They had decided to use my in-game name to find out the name of my old guild and try to stir up some drama between me and my friends. Or one of the members was pissed off enough about the story that they had made a character called Phosphor to mess with me. At this point, I strongly considered putting them all on ignore, but I decided to see where this would go. I whispered a couple of other members, and all of this was being caught on stream and being seen by my guildies. They thought these people were being really bizarre. They couldn't understand the nature of the whispers. None of them had listened to Drama Time before, and they thought that this was fucking weird. How do you explain Drama Time to people who've never seen it? It's not that hard, I don't think. I don't think it's that hard. But then you might need to go into details about the story you told. I can't remember the details of the story you told, but I'm sure you shit all over this Phosphor guy. And I'm sure he found out about it. I think that's pretty much what happened there. I explained the situation to them. What is the web show? What is Drama Time? And so on. And my friends accepted this. This sounds good. So one of them decided to start spamming this Phosphor character. That person continued to whisper me, attempting to find out more information, claiming that he was going to sue me for his wife's being called a hoe by me and Andy in the web show. That's litigation, Holmes. And that's on you, Andy. I would never call a woman a hoe. That's you.
Dude, there's a phrase, right? A hoe is a hoe.
Let me tell you something my forefather taught me. A hoe's a hoe is a hoe.
I'm not going to change this street knowledge just because some uppity fucking bint wants me to.
Uppity bint. How about that? Is that better? Is that better than hoe? Well, we saw what happens if you call someone a thought these days. Copy strike. Yeah? Going, boom! Copy strike. Boom! Copy strike. It's good money. Obviously, I didn't give two fucks, Mike. Yeah. I don't care about the opinions of people in my old guild, and whoever was whispering me just clearly wanted to have a little go at me. After a few whispers, I stopped replying as I was still streaming, and I wanted to get the challenge done. They left me alone after that. Had they taken further steps towards being a dick, I would have ignored them, or contacted a GM to ensure that they had stopped harassing me. Harassment! Yeah, demonetized, get fucked, copy strikers. As I'm sure many of them have heard most of the shit talk I sent their way at this point, as I know several of my old friends do listen to Drama Time and have heard the stories about them. According to one of their members, they had changed their loot system, no longer have a healing officer and are doing better in raids, seeing as the guy that I talk shit about never actually contacted me and it was somebody pretending. Unless, of course, he's doing the double betrayal, and it was the real Phosphor, in which case, I guess I had it coming that someone would come and bite me in the ass about writing a story about them. Feel free, though, Mike, in good signs and stuff like this. Feel free to continue using my name in stories, as I feel I can write better stories in the future if given the context of my previous stories. I know what steps I could take in order to protect myself from any future trolling, and if things get bad, I'll just change my name. I don't think we want that, do we? We don't know more Happy to change his name, do we? No.
Change it to just Happy.
It could be Now I'm Happy. That would be good.
Yeah, now I'm happy.
Despite what you think, you're still on a free beer from me, as I've come to understand that where you're from, giving somebody loads of shit is grounds for hiring them. Ghost.
What?
Though I guess I owe Ghosty one as well, seeing as I nearly made him walk out on a drama story. And he's walked out on a few drama stories. He's not got the iron stomach that you need for some of this shit. You've got to plant your hands in the filth sometimes in order to get the real truth. Though maybe I'll have to get Andy a cider for calling me ugly.
Done deal.
Oh, ugly? What have you been doing? What have you been doing to these people?
It gets me free beer. Why should be more of a man?
This whole story is a history of Andy calling people ho and ugly and getting people to sue us. Oh my God, I think the kids are back. I thought about sending you a picture depicting what you, my wife, and I would partake in when I get said beer or an alcohol beverage, but my ultra beta-ness, as Andy put it. Ultra beta, Andy apparently called him. I met our friend No More Happy. But in my ultra beta-ness, I decided that sending you a hand-drawn picture of us taking care of business wouldn't be something my wife would like. Yeah, don't do that. I've seen, yeah, you guys send me some, not you guys here, like not Sunza or Love Puddles, but sometimes you send me weird pictures. I don't need them. I'm alright. That's all I'm saying. I'm alright. Not hand-drawn either. One of my girlies listened to the story afterwards, and I'm sure your chat will appreciate that I'm now known as Half Pubes. By my guildies. Which is information that I didn't want publicised. Good luck, have fun. Make sure you don't call out any other tank specs for being unplayable. Make a good series for healers and continue confusing people with something as simple as typing /simc. Yeah, we did do that. From No More Happy. There you go. There you go. Just roll greed. I believe in the story he did shave half his pubes, hence the half pubes. And I think that is the situation that went down. That is the way it went down. Thank you. No More Happy, the originator of Drama Time. We are going to end there because the next story is like 8 pages long. So I'm going to save it for next time because it's pretty good. It involves a meaty, sweaty bro fist. And I want it to be in there then. So we'll call it there just a few minutes early. We will be hosting SGDQ from Sunday. Summer Games Done Quick. We'll be making a donation in the community's name. From the subs and stuff that are there, we'll be making our contribution to the cause. So there'll be no stream from us directly. We will be hosting SGDQ next week as we prepare for PreachCon. PreachCon is very, very soon. So we have a huge amount of stuff to do. The MDI is about to start. Is it on Warcraft's channel? Can we host it? Do we know the channel that's showing the MDI? Which one is it? They didn't make a separate channel, did they? There's no PG show tomorrow. I think we should try and get one done before. Yeah, there will be one before PreachCon. There will be one more web show before PreachCon. So we'll host it here. MDI starting now with Big Ted, the Love Machine. He's going to be there, and it's the MDI's good stuff. So it should be interesting to see what those guys are going to pull off. So thank you all very, very much. There might be a stream tomorrow so we can finish the Prey Mooncrash DLC, which has been fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So if you want to watch the MDI, it is starting literally in like 6 minutes. So head over to twitch.tv/Warcraft, or we'll host it here. And Ted, I hope Ted is wearing his lore shirt. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. Our poor boy. You got married. Congratulations. Congratulations. That's awesome. Have a wonderful weekend, guys. Be good. I'll see you again. Bye-bye.